Hello everyone, this is Vikki StitchNButton. Today is April 8th. It's a Wednesday night, and this is number 55, Flosstube 55. I actually did a bunch of stitching the past couple of weeks. At least I don't know, 1, 2, 3. I touched like 8 things, so I think it's a fair amount of stitching, so that's a good thing. And I have some really cool new things to show you. So we're going to get into it. I am trying to remember to mention the hashtags that I'm using, because I usually use them when I post on my Instagram. So I've written myself notes. Whether I'll read them, I don't know. Let me see. I've been thirsty all day. First one I've worked on was my Mirabilia. I had to get in, I don't remember how many stitches, and I don't know, it might have been 1,000, it might have been 500. So this is her. It's Midsummer Night's Fairy. I call her MIDI, and she's close to being done, at least the full stitches. Very close. This is what she'll look like when she's done, and I need to figure out my piles. I did try to prep everything as much as possible. And this is where I got to. Now I do need to take some out, but I needed to count the stitches, so I left them in for now just to make it easier. So I ended up finishing up her skin, which is not a 1/1. I'm doing it 2/2 because this is skin behind a wing and hair behind a wing. And I just didn't think it would translate well going over one under there. But she's looking pretty good. I finished all the skin parts. I'm pretty sure I got all the skin parts in. And then I started working on her hair and putting the flower color. Oh, really, dog? You smashed my leg. Trying to turn around under there. Trying to get all the flowers, I guess it is, in her hair done. And I worked on the cry neck. Now, what I noticed was I was going to pretty much try to finish up a lot of this wing, and I had to stop because I messed up somewhere in here, so all this probably has to come out, I'm pretty sure. So I just went over to this one and started working on that one. But she's looking pretty darn good. I do have random leaves to do. I think I'm all done the brown part, the tree branch that she's sitting on. I'm pretty sure I'm done all that. So it's mostly the cry neck and then the little bits in the hair and the leaves, and then it goes on to beads and backstitch. She's getting close, getting close. Fold this back up. Get her put away for now. I'll put it away as I go along. It'll make my life easier. I'm all about, making my life easier. How about that? And at least I'll just do that. Okay. So the next thing I worked on, well no, next thing I have in my pile, because I have 2 things still on the Q-snap I want to show because I'm still working on them, so to speak. But I did a fair amount on Darcy. And this is Dorothys Discovery by Silver Creek Samplers. I am not using a lot of the called for colors. I used a lot of my own. And I finished up her shoes, her socks. I did the grass. I did all but one line on the rainbow. And I finished up the flower stem. And even started the yellow here. So not bad. I think it's doing pretty good. I want to say I've got to be halfway done almost. Because there's one more line. It's a purple line, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Violet, I guess it would be, right? According to the rainbow. There's one more, just one line going around there. all this grass is done. I have the yellow brick road, and Toto goes here in a basket. And then the rest is just more yellow brick road, the year, 2 hearts, some letters, and the Emerald City. I think I got the lion's share done, so this is definitely on the downslope of being done. This is good, good, good. Might have some finishes soon. Famous last words, right? Might be finished soon. There's 2 things that have the potential to be done, right? Well, then I have one that I just started not too long ago, so it definitely isn't done. By the way, the fabric that I use for Dorothys Discovery is called Heartland. I think it's one of the newer ones from Picture This Plus that I bought last year down at the cupboard. The next one I have in my pile is called The Bee Comes. And again, I didn't mention any of my hashtags, right? Mirabilia, I'm using hashtag Bodacious Women Sale. That counts for something I made up. It counts for anything that's like the Mirabilia women, the Joan Elliott women, some really cool women from the Heaven Nerd Design charts that are out there. So any of that's what I'm using for the Mirabilia. For my Darcys Discovery, I'm using the Yellow Brick Road sale is what I'm doing. Stephanie from the Just Keep Stitching, her and I were talking about our love of Wizard of Oz and how we have a lot going on, and we should make it a hashtag, so that's the hashtag that we decided on. And then I have a Bee Comes, and this is hashtag a Bee Comes sale. This I started on the 1st of January, and Seaweed Otter, Tina, and she has a new name, Bees and Stitches, or Stitch and Bee, or something like that. I can't remember her new name. But her and I started this for the new year. Actually, she started hers a little bit later, but I think she's all the way done on hers. Loving this. I am not using the called for colors. I think I might be using 3 of them out of all the colors that are there. And I have it on doubloon, 32 count doubloon from Picture This Plus. I had to keep that card out because I can never remember what it is. And this is how far I've gotten. The purples, they're part of my dead threads that I pulled out. I like those better than the colors that they chose, the pinks. I mean, theirs is purple too, but it's more of a lighter color. And so I finished him up. He just needs a little bit of back stitching around his wings. And pretty much this is an ant with a pointy butt right now because I still have to do his wing. He's got that side wing thing going on. But I haven't gotten that far yet. I think I had to do about 300 stitches or something. That's the one I did. That was, of course, because Magical Stitches runs my life. Runs all my whips. Okay. I have next, I got to start my Linen and Threads mystery sale. Because it's called Friends and Family. So I'm showing the chart. It's a freebie. Just go on linenandthreads.com and you can download April. Up to April is out. I haven't printed out April just yet because I haven't even finished January. Each month also comes with a free ornament, so that's pretty cool. This is what January's release was, and this is how far I got. I am using, mind you, let me see, some of this right here. Yeah, that's it. Some of this right here needs to come out. I made a mistake somewhere. But I wanted to get my stitches in, so I just started on this part here and filled that in correctly. It's alright. I'll take it out later. This is using Silks for You Silk. What color is it? I have it written down. Hang on. number PR152. I'm loving the colors. The fabric is from Vikki Clayton. It's a 36 count. And I think it's working out pretty nicely. I have not been doing a striped effect. I've been trying to cluster the colors to make it look a little bit better, a little bit more flowing instead of striped. I'm really glad I chose these colors. It's looking great. I forget what I did this for. I had to do, I don't know, a whole bunch of stitches on something. I had to, I fit it into one of the prompts because of the butterfly or something like that, and then I made some progress on it for Alphabet Soup on Sane for the letter F. That's what I used it for. Alright, then I've got a new start. I was able to start Halloween delivery. I know Gary already finished his brat, but I finally started it. I had to do about 1,000 stitches on, I don't know what prompt. I usually can't remember. My fabric is hand dyed by Stephanie, Kaleidoscope. It's on 28 count. And Gary actually helped me pick out this fabric, and I had no idea what I was going to use it on. I knew it would be a Halloween themed fabric, and lo and behold, when I was kitting this up, I thought this would look really cool for like a Halloween night type thing going on. But that's a new start, and I did all that stitching. I got a mistake in there, but I flubbed it and made it look fine. You can't even, I mean, you'd really have to look hard probably to tell. But I'm glad I got this started. I'm liking the colors together on this fabric. I actually like it better than that green tone color that they suggested. Let me look. See, she suggested 35 count chamomile tea by R&R Reproductions. I like mine better. I didn't like the greenish color. And I am not using all of the called for. I'm using about half. I want to say about half of the called for colors. But they're working well, so I'm happy with that. And what else? But wait, there's more. I told you I've been working. Getting those stitches in. There are a couple prompts on magical stitches for the team building exercises, so I had to get 1,000 in. I used this to do 1,000. Plus I used it on semi-sane frogs and stitches. I used it on that. So I got extra stitches in on it. And everything I'm stitching for my assignments, my homework assignments and stuff, I'm putting in on the frogs and stitches stuff. So it seems to be working out. And I'm getting just a little extra because of it. Alright, my next one is Aqua City. I had to get 300 stitches in on this. I got about 370 something. Thank goodness for a pattern keeper. I don't even have to count them. I just stitch, and once I mark them off, it tells me how many stitches that was, and I write down that number. So that's a good thing. And this is what it's looking like. Again, there goes blue. Lots and lots of blue. I basically worked all this over here, and right up to about here, that's the edge of the first page. So I've gotten the width of the first page done. And then I started working my way down here, filling this in. I really need to, every time I start doing, I'm like, oh, it looks good, and everybody else is showing page finishes on having their designs, and I have so many started, and I haven't even gotten one page finish yet. I was pretty close on that blue flame, and then I had to start it over again. And think I'm close to being halfway done a page on Space Traveler. So I really need to get on the ball working on these, because they're really going to look good when they're finally done. Let's see, there's a couple more I have still on the Q-snap is my Grapes pillow. This Grapes pillow is from Just Cross Stitch. Trying to find a picture. Pretty sure I have it here somewhere. Because it's from the magazine. There we go. Printed it out from the magazine. There is the Grapes pillow. I finished the Lemons, Limes, and More pillow last year. And did a poll on my Facebook group, not my group, on my Facebook page, on my timeline. And this one was picked to start next. And there we go. I've got my great butt. It looks like a butt. But I did a pretty good amount. I filled the rest of this in. I worked on this down here, and I did all this over here. So I got a fair amount done. I still have a fair amount to do because I have to do 1,000 stitches total. I think I'm at about 300 or 400. But there's a lot of blending. So it takes a little bit more time. If I had it on Pattern Keeper, I bet you it wouldn't take so much time. And last but not least, this is what I'm working on. This is another reason why it's still in the Q-snap. I was stitching on it this morning. Well, okay, let's be clear. I don't wake up in the morning. I wake up in the afternoon, so it's my morning, your afternoon. I was stitching on this with my coffee. And so far today, I just got a little bit of this line. I finished the word island for Rhode Island, and I started on this bird. I also filled in this over here because that hadn't been done. And after I finish this red and come around some, I'll start some white and fill in those couple of stitches there. I need to do 350 stitches because it's, let me think. Okay, I have to do 500 stitches on this. And I had to do 500 stitches on Aqua City. So this will finish up my homework because I already did the 500 on Aqua City. Plus some. And then 310 of these are just for the frogs and stitches on Sane. And for some reason, every time I roll big numbers. I think I've only gotten one number under 100 stitches. Everything's like 2, 210, 310. This time was 310. I had one for 250. I'm cursing it. But it's working, right? It's getting me stitching. It's getting things done. So, working on this tonight. After I'm done my video. And it goes over there. Okay. We are cooking with fire now. Alright, now. On to purchases and mail I received. Oh, first, I want to say congratulations. Colt apparently learned how to ride his two-wheeler last week, and he had a little mishap with a wall. Really, Colt? Really? I just wanted to say I'm proud of you, and keep up the good work, and stay away from walls. Good job, buddy. Alright. What did I do over the past 2 weeks? I bought some things. I kitted a couple things. And I got something in the mail. So let's start with, okay, we'll start with this one. I bought this pattern. I've been wanting it. It's from Etsy, Spooky and Steve. And I'll have to find their link and put it in the description box below. This is the play that helped us win the Super Bowl. The Eagles win the Super Bowl a couple of years ago. It's called the Philly Special. And I want to stitch that up. That is definitely going to happen, and it shouldn't even take too long. That's an easy one. Famous last words. I also, Till & Crafts had a sale, and I found this one. Look at it. That is going to be great. This one is called Darcys. It's just called Darcys. It's from Till & Crafts. And this is, I think, did I put it on my pattern keeper yet? I don't know. I have not. I haven't kitted it up. I also am pretty darn sure I am not going to stitch any of this black out here. I'm not stitching the black. I'm going to have to find a different fabric to put it on or something, but I'm not stitching all that black. So it is not really 400 by 400 because Vikki's not stitching all that. I received my fabric of the month from the myfabricparty.com, which is Stitchery Express. Cindy Sorley's group has set up with Gavork from Fabric Flair for a monthly shipping, and I get the regular, and this month is called Fairy Walls. This is so cool. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got sparkle in it. I really think this is cool. There's the other side. And it's a fat quarter, and I'm positive that it's going to look good with some kind of memorabilia on it or something like that. I think that would look really cool. That might even look cool with that Darcys on it. There's possibilities. Anyway, really liking that color. The other ones, there's a couple in there I liked, but the other ones that they received for a different, there's a seasonal Medley one, so if you had signed up, you would have got these ones. It's kind of cute. It's got the little mason jar in it. And then if you signed up for just the plain seasonal quarter, you would have got this multicolor spiderweb. So I am happy with this one this month. Put it back in the bag. That needs to go away. What's next? I received a package in the mail. Just a small envelope type package, and I want to say thank you to my friend Kaden. She sent me this cool list paper pad. I can chopping list paper. I love stuff like this. I make notes on stuff like this all the time. And it says coffee, my hug in a mug. So thank you, Kaden. I love that. Had a little bow on it. And then I received a package from Megan's Stitch and May, and her and I share the love of dragonflies, and she sent me a magazine. With that in there. And there's actually a couple of things in this magazine that's pretty cool. It's an old Just Cross Stitch from '88. And I know it's hard to believe it. If you go through some of your older magazines, you'd be surprised how many things either are back in style or weren't appreciated as much when it first came out. That is pretty cool. I like that. So that might be on the list. And it looks like there's a bunch of blending in that bad boy. But that's cool. And she also sent these Mill Hill kits of dragonflies. How cool is that? To get to beading. got all this stitching stuff going on. And then I also belong to a group where they're giving away stuff or trading stuff for like postage and stuff like that. And I got this chart. Now, I am not doing the 7 million French knots. I can figure out something better for that. And I think instead of stitching all those blue half stitches, I'd rather go with blue fabric and stitch the white stitches instead. But I love the look on this cat's face. I think he's cool. This is a P. Buckley Moss. It's an old P. Buckley Moss chart. And then I kitted up two things. Becky, who is Lucy Beam Lovin' Stitches, had a sale on her Etsy, and I don't know if she still does. You could check it out. But I've been looking at this. This was a class she had taught and was finally able to release a chart. So I bought this chart. I've been eyeing it up, and I said, you know what? I'm getting it. And I got this chart, and I kitted it up quickly. Let me see. This is a piece of Vikki Clayton fabric. You'll be able to see it that way. Chose that color instead, and I think I changed out a lot of colors for stuff that I have. Because if you looked at my floss storage video, you know I've got some colors. I actually had 6 of the 10 colors she called for. That's not bad. So I'm using about 6 of the 10 colors she called for. Not the fabric. Not the mama. Let me see. Anybody remember that Dinosaurs movie? That was a great show. Oh, okay. This is a piece of thread from an odds and ends from General Arts. That's why I was like, where's the card for it? And let's see if I can't get this to work. So that's what it's going to look like on there. Alright, maybe not exactly because some of the colors aren't showing up. You'd think I never did this before. Let's do this. Newbie. Okay. There we go. I think that's going to work well. I think it's going to look cute. And I know she said you can get the box from any craft store. So, I don't know if I'll put it on a box or put it on a tray of some sort or to hang up. I'm not sure, but I want to stitch it. So I kitted it up quick. And I put it in this bag. Alright, now, because I'm going to need a couple new starts, right, for this year, for the 29th. I think that's a, what did I start on the 29th? I think I started the Halloween delivery for the 29th. Alright, then I did a thing that started a thing that did a thing. Alright, a while back I bought these really cool threads from Romy's Creations. 10 skeins of it, because it was such a cool color. This Ara Macaw. Right? Well then, somebody did a thing and released a really cool thing. Anzac from Long Dog. They released it as a PDF on their website. I was able to go and buy it. So I did. I'm not the only one. I know there's a couple of people that have bought and or started this. And matter of fact, Belinda started it twice because she didn't like her first decision or her first fabric choice. So now she started it again and she's a lot happier. Well, when we were talking about this, I think it was on Virtual Stitchers we were talking about it, and I was like, I gotta get it. So I went and I bought it. Well, I wasn't getting the PDF, and we thought maybe I had to get it in an email or something like that, and then I realized that she's in France, and it was like 6:30 in the morning, and then later on in that day, I'm like, why didn't I get it yet? And then I looked, I had to sign in. I had to go and sign in to my account to get it. It was there the whole time. But in the meantime, I bought this. And then we decided I had to do it on black and put it with these threads. So, I will be doing this 1/1 on this black. I must be insane. I'm going to do 1/1. It's 28 count. I think I can handle it. Hopefully I won't throw it through the wall. Cross your fingers. But I think it's going to look absolutely gorgeous with these colors. And I know that you can get her threads. Now, because of everything that's going on, if people don't have it in stock already, it's going to take a while to get it in stock. I saw Romina go live not too long ago. She said she's still dying, and she's able to get a courier to pick up her mail like twice a week, something like that, or once a week. But she's able to mail out her stuff. It just takes a while because she needs to get a courier to come pick it up from her house because her post office is really small. So that's the way it works there for her right now, especially with all this stuff going on, which I think is fine. Nobody's going to die. Well, you know what I mean. Just because you don't have this yet, you'll be okay. But if you really like these threads, then I would suggest that you go to one of your LNS's. I know, let's see, I know that Jen from the Whole Stitch and Caboodle can get her threads. I know she's got an order in for her threads. I know that Elizabeth from Dames of the Needle has her threads on the Etsy shop. I don't know what's on there. I haven't looked lately. But I know she's got a lot of her threads on there. There's a lot of other colors that are really gorgeous. I've got the blues too, for the Blue Jay. And I'm not sure who else carries Romina's threads, but I know those two are sources. And I'm not sure if Romina has an Etsy shop herself. I should probably check into that. But there's there's ways to get these, and I think you should try. It's definitely a thing. You should definitely do this. I think it's going to look gorgeous. And I'm not sure when I'm going to start it yet. I know I was thinking right away, but it depends on homework and stuff. You know, my Magical Stitches homework. So it might be, if worse comes to worse, I'll start on 29th. Because I have a new start for the 29th I need to do, right? Leap into a new start. So it'll happen then. But if not, if I can get it in before then that's what'll happen. And that's what I've got. That's it. I hope everyone is well. I hope you guys aren't going too stir crazy. I know as cross stitchers, most of us are not so bad because it's just more time to stitch. If your kids aren't home ripping the whole house apart, it's more time to stitch. Otherwise, I was able to score some toilet paper today. Yes! And I didn't have to scramble for it. I just reached over and grabbed a pack. Only one. I didn't get 12 of them. You know, one pack of 6. It's not even the brand I usually get, but you got to take what you can get at this point. Somebody said that they saw some toilet paper that was damaged. When I say damaged, it just wasn't processed correctly, so it wasn't fully perforated, and you need like 2 hands to tear it off. And I told them just get a pair of scissors because guess what? That's a first world problem. If your toilet paper isn't properly perforated, I'd rather have some that wasn't than none at all. So You know, priorities, guys, priorities. As always, don't let anybody steal your sunshine. See you in a couple weeks.